So, our first comedian coming to the stage. Now, they wrote this guy, so I'm just going to go with what they wrote. And he wrote like a child. You didn't ask him to write his name down. He had to cross something out. I don't understand what the hell happened here. He wrote his name. Okay. He says he's an inspiration to take vaccination. More like an inspiration for sterilization, okay? Seriously, please put your hands together for Joey Rosenberg.
That's not what I wrote. I crossed it out because I knew that'd be too many words for you to read. I'm just joking. I love you, Johnny. I am so sorry. The dick thing. Like, I mean, like, even if it's true, there's a time and place. There might have been a time and place. Probably not now. Like, is it? No, not here. Oh, okay. No. Oh my God. John, you want to let this guy with her father right here? My dear, oh my God. Okay, moving right along. How you doing, guys? How are you? I'm Joey. Nice to meet you.
Shut up.
Yeah. Cool. I like that. Thank you very much. Thank you. John pointed out there's a lot of people here that are married. Raise your hand. Who here is married? Let me see you. Okay, we got plenty of married people here. My parents were married too. Like, when you're in a marriage, when you're in any relationship, you're probably going to fight every now and again. It's just natural. It happens. My parents fought a little strangely with each other. They get racial. Like, you know what I mean? Because my dad's an old school guy from the Bronx. My mom is French. Anytime she undercooked anything, my dad would accuse her and her family of collaborating with the Germans. This is pre-bar mitzvah parentage. It was great.
Thank you.
And my bar mitzvah, that was an interesting. Like, I had my Dominican relative show up to my bar mitzvah. And to give you a description, that was a definition of like a culture clash, which is kind of fun to watch, I'm not going to lie. But more than seeing that, I like seeing the way different cultures celebrate. You know what I mean? Like bar mitzvahs versus quinceañeras, or 420 versus whatever else you had planned that day. I know there's weed smokers in here. I can smell them. I can smell my own. I can smell my own. Half of you are probably selling. What? It's an honest living. I work at a hotel. My job is basically walking around apologizing to hookers. Basically, essentially. I'm always at a loss for what to say when they come up to me. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry the pillow wasn't firm enough, but why are your knees bleeding? Like, I'm just saying it's not the best job I've ever had. Like, one of my favorite jobs that I had, I worked at an antique fair, which was awesome. Because you can take your grandparents there, it's like a day out. And they usually remember the things that are there from when they first came out. Like, we used to call this a flippery-boo. We used it to put out radio fires. Like, I missed that job. I've had a lot of jobs. I was a doorman for about a year also in the city. I was actually a doorman. And it's funny because these were buildings that were pretty well off. There were wealthy people that lived there. And it's made even funnier that I sold weed out of their coat room. They never went back to wear those jackets again anyway. Half the time they gave them out to the homeless, at which point I would scoop up a few. I'm the youngest of 5, which essentially makes me the reboot of my family. Much like other reboots, I'm not as financially successful or as appreciated as the originals. Thank you, sir. What, did you just say you feel bad for? Am I gonna eat that? I couldn't just go for I had to, I'm sorry. I had to. Why? What the fuck is going on here? All right, man. Well, I mean, actually, I could probably use that gravy. Like, there wasn't anything left. I'm like, you know what? There's a sizable amount of gravy left. All right, cool. I'm the You know what? There was a second part to that reboot joke, and then I had so much fun with the wings, I forgot it. I'm gonna be real here, but yeah, it's okay. Let's see. I believe I'm about 5'11". I'm standing. I'm sorry. I actually kind of hurt my leg running a lot to try and find friends. Because when you run after somebody, they kind of at least look at you for a second, and then there's a chance you could become friends. Like, you just walk towards someone you walk past. It's like any interaction in the city. You're not gonna make friends that way. But oh my God. Yeah, I hurt my leg, so I can't really exercise the way I used to. I'm starting to put on weight. It's kind of just like when I was in 5th grade. And I went to an all-religious, black hat Hasidic school, and I got picked on by the Hasidic kids. Like, I'm not taking anything away from them. I mean, they're gangsta, they got their own colors, you know. Like, black and white, they're like cookies, you know. You gotta take them seriously. Like, I mean, not for nothing, but only in the worst neighborhoods do you see Crips, Bloods, and Hasidic Jews living side by side. Like, just no problems at all. Not a single issue. Having grown up in that world, I can tell you that some of these people might consider a turf war if you don't offer them cake after dinner. So I wouldn't mess with them on a good day. Yeah. I'm not religious anymore. If I had to describe myself as a Jewish person, I'd be like the one Jew that's not in on the conspiracy. They've kept me and my family out of that. Like, seriously, I've tried to, like, really, I tried to get wings and weed and love on this very stage. You know? But yeah, I'm 5'11". I believe I belong in the NBA. Because I think I could D up anybody. Amen. You know, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, LeBron James, it doesn't matter. I'll tee their asses up. You know why? Because I got the perfect defensive strategy. All I'm going to do is I'm going to walk up to them when they're taking a shot, right? And I'm just going to tell them their address. If they can keep it together at that point, I'll be impressed. You know? Like, I don't even really need to do that. All I got to do is find their place and pick an arbitrary fact right from the outside. Like, hey, LeBron, nice yellow garden hose. You know? You know? I love that. I just turned 26 recently, and thank you, yeah, only 2 weeks ago. And I've come to learn a couple things about life. One of those things I've learned is that you're going to have to hear things that you don't want to hear after a while. You know what I mean? News that it's negative, it's just going to happen. So I thought it'd be a really cool thing as a society. The person who delivered that bad news to you had to do a little dance right then and there for it. You know what I mean? It'd be like, ma'am, your children are in critical but stable condition. Your husband didn't make it. I mean, the news has got to come anyway about how you deliver it. I mean, how much easier would the news be that your whole family got wiped out be if the guy who told you had to do the worm right afterwards? You know, like, like it's just about how you get told things, how you handle things. Like, I don't know, because I don't think I'm the most mature person in the world, but I can roll a fat joint for anybody in here. Like, my wisdom is marked in paper. Like, oh dear boy. Wow. What the hell is going on outside? Okay. Let's see here. I watch a lot of paranormal shows because they're on Netflix. There's like 10 or 11 of them, and they all kind of follow the same basic theme. You know, some demon takes over a really Catholic house, and then they try to pray it away like it's gay or something. And then at the end, they have like an exorcism of the. They go to the room where everything is just the worst, and that's right where I want to come in and just like walk along with the priest and be like, "Hey, Father, this guy was a really evil spirit in life, wasn't he?" And he's like, "Yes, he had a very evil spirit in life, and he's taken that with him to death." And I'm like, "Okay, well, why isn't he in hell? What is he doing in my sublet, man? Like, what, did he apply to hell and then like they didn't accept him? Like, there was no room." Anyway, I got the light like 2 minutes ago. So I'm Joey, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good night.